went out with a bang. The hotel imploded early this morning following a goodbye fireworks and drone show.
Just 1 hour ago, Las Vegas collapsed. This isn't a drill. It's happening. Something big just hit. Social media is exploding with news of casino floors plunged into darkness, chandeliers swinging and people stumbling in corridors. There's cracks everywhere, sending debris across marble floors. But beyond that, gamblers are fleeing for safety. Before the sun could rise over the Nevada desert, Las Vegas said goodbye to one of its oldest icons, the Tropicana Hotel.
There it goes. The Tropicana, which opened its doors back in April of 1957, was the most expensive hotel ever built on the Strip at that time.
In a thunderous display of lights, fireworks, and falling steel, the Tropicana's towers collapsed in a massive implosion that turned the historic landmark into dust and memories. For decades, the Tropicana stood as a symbol of classic Las Vegas. It was glamorous, wild, and its beauty was mind-blowing. Known for its ties to the old mob era, it was one of the last reminders of the city's gritty golden past. But on this fateful morning, that chapter closed for good. Although that wasn't the plan, it was supposed to be a celebration of rebirth. A witness said it felt like the ground had shifted, while some other people weren't sure if what they heard was a boom or a crack. Fire crews responded to minor gas leaks, while some locals reported tremors, the kind you associate with shallow quakes. Nobody was sure if this was man-made or a structural failure, a collapsed chain reaction, or something more sinister. The next few hours of investigation were critical. The worst thing here is that there's a possibility that once one building collapses, nearby structures might often follow. It's speculated that foundation stress radiates. Imagine towers built decades ago, all sharing subterranean utilities, shared support frames, pipes, and conduits. Which brings us to the most urgent question. How many more buildings are at risk, and how bad could this get? Local emergency services reported multiple structural failures, though exact locations remain unofficial. Fire crews are converging on the Strip. Hospitals are on yellow alert. Fire trucks roar down the Strip, sirens piercing the night. Police have had roads blocked and medical helicopters hovering over damaged rooftops. That's not all. Emergency command centers are overwhelmed. Backup generators are failing too, and systems meant to be redundant are cracking under load. In every disaster, there's a moment when the story stops being speculation and the terrible effects it has on humans begins to be unraveled. Some experts are already comparing this to the worst structural disasters in U.S. history. The truth is, Vegas isn't just bending, it's falling apart. That's when people realized Las Vegas wasn't just collapsing physically, something deeper was unraveling, and it would create a domino effect. But would Vegas ever recover? When one building collapses in an urban setting, it's assumed that more disasters might be waiting to happen if it's not immediately contained. Imagine towers built at different times, all sharing underground plumbing, electrical conduits, drainage tunnels, and bedrock stresses. If one zone cracks, the adjacent structures take on extra force. Engineers call this a domino collapse. One failure automatically triggers the next. Now consider this. The Strip has many aging structures already. Some were built decades ago, some were patched over, and some were expanded without fully reinforcing their cores. Sources say a secret engineering team had been warning structural managers that several high-rise hotel towers have shown signs of stress cracks and foundations shifting. This is being corroborated by some off-the-record tips we've received. According to an inside tip, a beam in the mid-level floor had been 1.5 inches, small but significant. That warning was logged and then ignored. When parts of the tower above failed, the load path shifted. Beams, columns, joints all reeled. Then the floors below were asked to carry a weight they were never designed for. It's no longer friction. The dominoes have started to tumble, and who is caught under them? This catastrophe isn't just steel and concrete. The lives of people and families were affected. Both visitors and residents of Vegas were afraid.
But tourism numbers show a continued decline right here in southern Nevada, and that dip in visitors is causing a big concern for many Valley workers.
One guest from a penthouse said, "We heard a roar, then saw the floor curve beneath us. I grabbed my daughter and dashed toward the stairs." Staff members also reported panic in service elevators. floors flooding with smoke, and trapped guests pressing room phones that were dead. The city has opened emergency shelters near the convention center. The American Red Cross is reporting 14 people displaced and one partial building collapse. Hospitals are reporting crush injuries, broken bones, and respiratory trauma from smoke and dust inhalation. Stairwells are jammed, and some elevators dropped one floor before halting. The heartbreaking side is that somewhere in that chaos, a lot of people haven't been found. Rescuers are searching under rubble, and emergency crews are cutting through debris. But time is running out. In mass disasters, misinformation is as dangerous as debris, but worse than it all is the financial implications involved. With the collapse also comes a financial meltdown. Vegas finances are built on revenue from hotels, gaming, entertainment, and retail, all of which is presently in jeopardy. Tourism is down 11% for June 2025. Hotel occupancy has also gone down by a whopping 6.5%, and the removal of 3,000 rooms has only worsened the numbers. Convention attendance is suffering too, down 10.7% as of June. Strip room rates also dropped by 7%. On the revenue side, casinos are trying hard to make money that's been lost. Spenders who stay are gambling harder to compensate for their own loss. Beyond that, properties have been damaged, repair costs are high, investors are panicking. There's insurance claims and lawsuits. If care's not taken, the entire resort could go bankrupt overnight, and even their insurance won't be able to save them. And when Vegas money falters, it's not just Vegas that suffers. Las Vegas has long been the bellwether of global gaming. When Vegas sneezes, Macau, Monte Carlo, and Atlantic City catch colds. Investors and casino stocks are already at risk. Will they pull back from expansion plans? Will banks tighten financing for resort deals? Vegas's collapse may shift capital away from high-risk gaming zones. Beyond gaming hotels, hospitality chains and event promotion companies all have exposure. If you thought this crisis was local, then think again. The house that Vegas built may now collect global debt. If you're in Vegas, or if you're planning to go now, then be careful. Avoid the Strip, stay off main casino clusters, and ensure that you use stairwells and not elevators. Also, dress properly too. Put on a mask to be protected against dust. Move slowly, and avoid all forms of panic. Even though the storm is over, everybody still has to be careful. Watch for aftershocks or secondary collapses. Local shelters are still open and offering their services, while evacuating guests are advised to text and not call because networks may be overwhelmed. Travel plans are also suspended until the coast is clear. This tragedy shows how fast structural failure can change everything in seconds.